First thing I'd like to do in this video is give a shout out to Gloria Gutridge, who sent me some photos of these marbles. This is an air trap implosion, and this is another implosion. Looks like it was done with some cane. The marbles look beautiful, Gloria. Keep sending in your photos, guys, and I'll be sure to feature them in my upcoming videos. So for people just joining our channel, welcome, welcome. For people who are coming back, thank you so much for watching another one of our videos. Today we're going to do a wrap and rake. I like to practice this with clear. So what I did was I fumed blank with some silver fume, and I'm just getting my clear rod ready. It's much easier to learn this using a clear rod because color rods are very expensive. So if you are doing this for your first time, be sure you use clear and just get the feel for it. It is tricky to learn. This actually took me a while to learn how to do this. And now I am happy to share the knowledge that I learned with you guys, and hopefully it will be helpful and will help you learn how to do this quickly and easily and save you some time and broken glass, which we all know is tons of fun. So pretty much I am preheating that blank. You want to preheat because when you go to wrap this with the clear, it needs to be a little bit warm for that clear to stick, or for any glass to stick, that is. My first wrap didn't work out so well. It was too thin, so I just flame cut it and let that all melt back in. Heat up a good amount of your rod when you do this. Don't just heat up like the very tip. You want to heat up like a nice sized chunk. I would say about like maybe ½ an inch or so. And getting a gooey hot, so it's like, you know, super molten. And now you just want to keep a little bit more. The tip should be a little bit past your flame, and this is the trick to keep it wrapping. Is your left hand has to feed the rod, and again you have to heat in the right spot, or else you're going to either keep cutting it or it's going to come off super thick. So you really have to find a good balancing point with the glass. I find that having my stringer a little bit out of the flame and just keep feeding the rod in so it stays in that one spot, it works for me. Again, practice your positioning, and if you want to make it thicker stringer, move it out of the flame a little bit more. And you could do this in an organized pattern. I just went a little bit crazy and wrapped in all different places. Do whatever you think looks good to you. And you could go ahead and wrap with different colors. You could wrap in sections. There's so many different ways to do this. So just have fun with it. You know, play around, see what works for you. And again, send me pictures. You could email me at yourock, YOUROCK, at diffusingshop.com. I'll put it in the video too. That's what the wrap is looking like so far. You want to be careful again to keep enough heat in this that number one, your wrap stays on, and number two, that you do not crack your glass. So make sure you keep flashing it with the heat. We're going to go ahead and do the rake now. I keep the tip of the glass in the flame and also the rod in the flame too, and just move the blank up and the rod down, and just rake through your lines. Now I'm using a color rod to do this, not a color rod. I'm using a clear rod to do this. And people use rakes, people use color rods, there's many different ways of doing the same thing. And you can see what we did here. You can see where that first rake is, and it just pulls that glass down, which is going to give us that cool raking effect. And I'm just going to go around and do a couple more. You can rake in both directions. I'm going in one right now, which is down. You could also rake back up if you punty up and attach a handle to the other side. You go in the other direction, and that makes a really cool look too. But for this video, I'm just doing a rake in one direction. The goal at this point is you want to really bend and go through the wrap that you just did and pull those lines down. A lot of people use this technique for pipe making. So if you Google wrap and rake pipes, you will see some pretty cool stuff. And again, when you find good color combinations, or you could use frit, it becomes like even better. So again, so many different ways of doing this. While I am continuing to rake down the tube, let's do our dad joke for this video. And the question is this: why can't you have a nose that is 12 inches long? Because then it would be a foot. Because 12 inches is the foot. Good stuff. Good stuff, and very high on the dad joke level. That dad joke-o-meter. Okay, if you guys want to skip ahead, I will not stop you from doing that. I do try to leave timestamps in the video, so you could go check those out in the description box. Or if you want to just watch me proceed to do a couple more rakes, then by all means, go ahead and do so. I can tell you that there's only about another 20 seconds before I go to the next portion of this video. So if you want to sit tight, we'll get there in a minute. All right, here we go. That's what it's looking like so far. You can see all those rakes going through those lines. And now the next goal is to melt everything in so your glass becomes stable. You always want to keep your glass happy. Your glass is going to let you know when it's not happy. And normally it does that by cracking or shattering on you. So again, it's our job to help keep the glass happy. Right now I'm going to punty up to the other side. This way I could rotate with two hands. Because when we put the outer fire on this GTT torch, the glass is going to start to move, and we want to keep it in one spot. We don't want to stretch it out right now. We just want to, keep an even rotation. We don't want to get any twists in there, and it's always easier to do it with two hands. Right now, I'm just cleaning up the end of the punty. I still had a little bit of excess glass on there, so we're just peeling that off. Always cut your glass in the fire, people. Make sure you always flame cut in the fire. Many people come into the shop and they are making tons of stringers, and because they just will pull the glass out of the fire and it just does not cut. So make sure you always cut your glass in the fire and keep yourself safe and everyone else around you safe too. You don't want to get those thin stringers because they are dangerous and they get all over the place. So make sure that you're careful with that. Right now I'm just using a big bushy flame to go ahead and melt in those lines. This does take some time. So just, be aware that it's not going to happen in like 2 minutes. It's going to take some major heat depending on how thick your lines are too. And how even they are. These are all factors on how quickly this is going to happen for you. So mine's a relatively thin wrap, so it shouldn't take super long. One important note is you want to put a lot of heat where all those lines end, because that area is stressed to the max right now. So make sure you continue to keep that area hot, and you shouldn't have any problems with this. I did not put this in the kiln to soak after I did the wrap and rake. I just went right in, attached the handle, and put it into the big outer flame. Right now I'm using a little bit of a reducing flame, this way to get some those colors to pop in the fume. When I wrapped it, it looked mostly like orangey and yellow, but when you hit it with an oxidizing and reducing flame, you could get like blues and other different colors. And again, just continue to melt in those lines. I did speed it up at this point because I'm not going to torture you guys with watching me do this. Again, if you want to skip to the end and see, I did not make anything with this piece of tubing. I actually just have it sitting in my shop right now. I'm not doing anything. Eventually I will make something with it, but I was just, using it to teach this technique. So just go ahead, melt in those lines. You could angle your hands like this if you want. It covers a little bit more surface area. Or you could just keep it straight and melt in a little bit at a time. There's really no magic way of doing this. I switch between doing different heating angles. So do what works for you. Do what you're comfortable doing. Again, as long as you're keeping that glass from twisting or pulling it out, then you are good to go. Just keep that heat in there. I think that's just really good practice for learning to have nice even rotations and keep the heat in the same spot and not stretch the glass or, twist it up. And keep that outer thickness even. So you just want to continue to rotate. Not much more to do here. We're almost all melted in. I just love how the glass looks when it's in the flame like that, where it's like super hot and orange and just like looks really, really awesome. And this shot here, I love the way this flame looks. Looks like hellfire coming out of the torch. I tried to get a good video of the finished piece, but it was really, really hard. I tried, you guys. I tried for like 5 minutes to get the tubing in. It really wasn't working out. Here is a picture that I took that was the best view that I could get. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.